Hello everyone, I'm Nitsa Hone, and it is Thursday, and that means it's time for one of my regularly scheduled draft videos. At a minimum, I get one out every Monday and Thursday. Right now, I think I'm just accomplishing the minimum, but, you know, that's still 2 draft videos, right? Course of 2019 has been pretty nice to me so far. 6 trophies in 17 drafts is not a normal rate for me. Neither is a 69% win percentage. It's going to correct at some point. Normally, I'm around 60, so... it could just be. There's definitely been some luck involved for those of you that have watched my drafts. I've also had some where I've flooded and stuff. That's kind of how things go. But okay, but I do like this format. I like that it is mid-range, aggro, control are all viable strategies, and it's kind of nice to be sort of freed from the constraints of really. Of formats where there's really specific archetypes that you have to end up in. In this format, I've found the most successful when I just don't have a deck that has crazy synergies that follow whatever the signpost uncommon is. That's the way I think basically all of my trophies have gone. Although the red-white deck, just being an aggro deck, does follow the red-white gold card. So probably just take shock here. I do like Mirror Image. It turns out that there's enough cards with good into the battlefield abilities at lower rarities that you can frequently get some nice value out of it. And it and Sleep are both nice in the right deck, but they both require a little bit of effort. Sleep is only good in narrow scenarios. Shock is just basically always good. So we'll take it. Goblin Trashmaster. He's been fine when I've taken him. I've blown up artifacts with him. That's always nice when you can do that. But I think we probably take Rabid Bite over the Trashmaster or Aviation Pioneer. It's another removal spell, and it's a good one. There's a lot of creatures at lower rarities who have high power, like this Onake Ogre or this Bristling Boar, either of which might make the cut in our deck. Well, the Bristling Boar definitely would if it wheeled, and this might. But yeah, we'll take Rabid Bite here over the Trashmaster and such. Okay. Well, the green and the red here are not very exciting. Dragon Egg's fine. It's not great, though. I mean, it's a better card in a more defensive deck, and yeah, we could take it. There's no guaranteeing we're not a defensive deck, I guess. But I also really like Cavalry Drillmaster. But maybe I should just stick red for now. I mean, Havoc Devils is also fine. Is it better than the Egg? It might be. They're pretty comparable, I think. The Egg makes it so people just stop attacking you until they have a way to stop your fire-breathing token, and Havoc Devils just has good stats. And it's good with Rabid Bite. Yeah, I mean, Arcane Encyclopedia is fine, but I don't love it either unless I'm in a deck that has some concern about artifacts. I think I'm going to take the Havoc Devils. Goes better with Rabid Bite, right? Oh... Skyrider Patrol may just completely move me into green-blue. I can't help it. I like that card too much. And it's not like this pack's offering us anything great. Spark Tongue Dragon is fine. Tormenting Voice is fine. But Skyrider Patrol's great. And there's a chance we could just splash it anyway. So, yeah, I think we take it over like the Dragon, which is a solid card, and I'll happily play it. But yeah. So, another Rabid Bite seems pretty good to me. There's also an Aven Windmage if we want to think about straight up green-blue. And Rabid Bite it's not great with the Windmage, but it is better. Pyromancer and Fiery Finish are both fine, but this is a very clunky removal spell. But I do feel like red and green are open enough that I probably shouldn't completely veer into blue-green as much as Aven Windmage and Skyrider Patrol make me want to. I love both of those cards more than I probably should. But Rabid Bite's Rabid Bite, Yeah. Removal. Okay, so Bristling Boar is probably what we take here. Yeah, no real question about that. Okay, well, blue-green is looking a little more appealing because Dwindle and Disperse and Salvager of Secrets are all here, and they're all good. Fel Spectre being here is also interesting, but it's a really good black card that I think is first pickable sometimes. So I think maybe I'd rather have Salvager of Secrets in a blue-green deck right now because of 2 Rabid Bites and a Shock than Dwindle, which is an okay removal spell, and Disperse, which is a good bounce spell. The fact that this is a creature makes... we have 3 cards that kind of want us to have creatures in play, so that's kind of why I'm thinking about taking the Salvager, but I think taking Dwindle sends more of a signal that blue, I don't know. There's still a Disperse and a Salvager, but we'll take the Dwindle. Okay, Rupture Spire would help us splash Skyrider Patrol. Naturalize is good for our sideboard. Hostile Minotaur is subpar. It's kind of looking like we're going to be green-blue, though, because this isn't really a reason to get into red. It's been pretty disappointing. Yeah, let's take the Rupture Spire. It's fine as far as fixing goes. Okay, Oakenform. You know, we do have access to Vine Mare. Anticipates decent. I guess it's what I take here. I like it more than Oakenform. I just can't get behind auras. Like, even in this format where I do think they're better than usual, mostly because of the fact that you just set yourself up for card disadvantage so easily. And obviously, I mean, auras that pump your creatures. Cards like Dwindle don't do that. Probably another Boar. I mean, Trashmaster still being here could have gone all goblins, I guess, but we'll take another Boar over an Ogre. And here we'll take a Thornhide Wolves. And now we'll take a Tormenting Voice. Should red end up being open enough, take another Thornhide Wolves. We need some low curve, but I'm liking the way our deck looks other than that. We may not even need this Rupture Spire if we're not splashing anything. Shock is kind of worth splashing, but the fact that you like want to have mana for it all game long kind of makes it not that good. And we already have 3 removal spells, actually, so yeah. Good old Skyrider Patrol. Let's see if we can get another one. Pretty nice with stuff like Bristling Boar and Thornhide Wolves. I feel like in an ideal world, I'm probably not playing Anticipate, so I'll stick it over here for now. It's good in a spell-heavy deck or like a control deck, but I don't think that's where we're headed. Having the Rupture Spire doesn't hurt, though, because if we open up like a off-color bomb or something, then we can try to splash it. I think blue's more open than red, though. You know, I could be wrong. I wish I hadn't passed that Patrol, the Aven Windmage. I guess red may still be an okay choice the more I look at this. Well, there's a Gigantosaurus. People are disappointed every time I don't take a Gigantosaurus. It's just so hard to make work. Like, we could push into mono green here, but we're giving up 2 of the best cards in our deck if we do. It's just not worth it. I mean, and the payoff is fine, but guess what? It gets shut down basically by Dwindle. I mean, I guess it's still a 4/10, but it's not great. I think we probably take Essence Scatter, which is really overperformed in this format. Omen Speaker and Gasbark Twins would both be okay too, but I think I take Essence Scatter. Sorry, Gigantosaur. Ooh, hello. Meanwhile, there's a Goreclaw. What else do we have in this pack? Another Dwindle, but there's nothing better than Goreclaw in our deck. Already, yeah, it's already interested in high power because of Rabid Bites, and we've already, all of our creatures so far are affected by Goreclaw. That's not going to last, and if it does, we're probably in trouble because then that means we have only big creatures, but wouldn't mind some Druids of the Cowl. So Reclamation Sage probably. It frequently has a target in this format. And even when it doesn't have the worst fail case. Yeah. I mean, Titanic Growth, Plummet, yeah, whatever. Weird that there's no blue cards. Something to keep an eye on, certainly. There's no reason. I mean, our deck is still predominantly green, and we could splash the Skyrider Patrol, depending on what goes on here. Okay, so there is a Siegebreaker Giant, who's a pretty great red card who works well with Goreclaw and friends. So that's kind of worth looking at. I mean, we regain Shock and Havoc Devils. I could take a Centaur Courser, which would lower our curve, which is something we need to do. There's also a Luminous Bond, incidentally, but I don't think we take it. I think Siegebreaker Giant's enough better than Centaur Courser, though, that I am going to take it here and think about going back into red. Sometimes it's just best to take the card that's the best card, you know, especially when you're not deep into another color. This pack just makes me sad, though. So, like, Pegasus Courser's good, Gallant Cavalry's good. It's just a weak pack in general. We'd probably just take a cancel for our sideboard. I don't think we want Frilled Sea Serpent. I mean, our curve is already high enough. It does get a little better if you've got Goreclaw. Don't like Talons of Wildwood enough to take it here. Yeah, we'll take a cancel. Okay, another Thornhide Wolves. Aether Tunnel can be really, really good if you get Vinemare, but we don't have Vinemare at this point. Not getting red cards, green cards, or blue cards that I really want at this point. So since we don't have much to do in the early game, I think something like Anticipate could actually be good, but then we already have one. So maybe I just take a River on the off chance we splash. Marauder's Axe is okay, but I'm not a big fan. Could also take the Aether Tunnel. I mean, it turns these creatures into, guess what, you lose the game. Yeah, what the hell, we'll take the Aether Tunnel. But, yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to end up exactly. Probably am running an Anticipate at this point. Okay. Naturalize is nice for the sideboard, but we're desperate enough for 2-drops that I think I'm going to take this very mediocre Highland game. Okay, things are looking a little better. Strangling Spores being here is interesting. I think I take Ghirapur Guide. I mean, Plummet and Naturalize are both great in the sideboard, but more cheap creatures. And one that gives creatures some evasiveness when our creatures are huge is something I'm happy to take. And now we'll take a Naturalize for our sideboard. So, like, if you take Skyrider Patrol out of the equation, I think our red cards are definitely better than our blue cards at this point. So, and we can splash the sky. I mean, Essence Scatter is pretty good, but Shock and Siegebreaker Giant are also very good. Nake Ogre, I think. Okay, now we take a Plummet for the sideboard. Yeah, I haven't decided. I mean, Oakenform or Wall of Vines. Wall of Vines is like a super mediocre sideboard card, but I may end up wanting it. And we'll take this. Maybe we end up splashing black for some reason. Yeah, green is definitely open. We'll take another Thornhide Wolves. I'm kind of hoping I don't play 3, but it could happen. Okay. So here we take a Dryad Greenseeker, who's like exactly what we need. It's a 2-drop, and it's a great card in general. Wouldn't mind Reclamation Sage, obviously. Not a great red card here. We already have one anyway. And not good blue cards here either. They're just good green for us. There's also a Strangling Spores for somebody, but yeah. I do love Angel of the Dawn. Kind of makes me wish I'd picked up one of the splash the dual lands. Even Windmage is probably where we go here. Lightning Mare and Lava Axe and Goblin Motivator don't really motivate me to keep moving into red when this is a perfectly good blue card. So I think we're probably blue-green officially. I'm going to change my mind now. Nope. I'm going to take a Druid of the Cowl very happily here. And yeah. Obviously Vampire Sovereign's the best card in the pack, but we're not playing a double black card. Another Aven Windmage, another Bristling Boar. I think the Windmage is better. You know, it doesn't have 4 power, which our deck is a little interested in because of Goreclaw, but it's got evasion. And yeah, that's enough for me. And we have a decent number of spells. Although, I guess Aether Tunnel and Essence Scatter are pretty useless with it. Well, Aether Tunnel doesn't trigger it anyway. I'm not sure we're playing Aether Tunnel, actually. Yeah, Centaur Courser. I think we did the right thing. Sometimes when people watch my drafts, they're like, why did you waffle so much? And sometimes I think it's just right to do, especially when one color is like crazy open, like green is, and you're not really sure what your second color is. You can just start taking whatever is the best out of those 2 colors. And I think in the long run, you probably end up with a higher power level in your deck. You may end up with fewer playables, but I think your power level ends up higher. Granted, if you have fewer playables, said power level can be brought down by having to play like a main board Plummet or something, but I don't think we're going to get there, or main board Cancel. Yeah. Don't love 3 Thornhide Wolves. I wouldn't mind some beefier finisher coming to us, but I don't know if that's going to happen. This pack doesn't make it look like it is. We'll take a Plummet. Like Dreadmaw and such. Okay, you know, I said earlier we didn't want this, but maybe we do. I mean, our deck just doesn't have a nice evasive finisher. I mean, Skyrider Patrol makes things evasive, but I think Frilled Sea Serpent's fine. Do I want a second one? Probably not. I'd probably take a Giant Spider here. Yeah. I like always having one main board Giant Spider in this format. Like, if I could replace a Thornhide Wolves with a Dreadmaw or a Gasbark Twins, Gasbark Twins might be pushing it. It's not like we have a whole lot of ramp. We just have our Druid. This is a pretty sweet deck made up of, like, predominantly commons, though. God, it's sort of funny that way. We've got Goreclaw and Skyrider Patrol, Ghirapur Guide and Reclamation Sage, and Dryad Greenseeker and Essence Scatter. Those are only Oh, Essence Scatter's common. So I was thinking it was uncommon. One less than I thought, even. Lots of commons. Not necessarily a bad thing. Doesn't hurt that the uncommons we do have are pretty powerful. And the commons we have are really powerful, like Rabid Bite and such. So totally lost, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we could end up with a 23rd card that is less than ideal, but, like, you know, not sure how much I want to anticipate in my deck. But another totally lost. Root Snare is not a terrible sideboard card against decks trying to just kill you with one big swing. Yeah, I guess we'll take it. I don't think I'm playing 2 totally losts. I think I'd rather play and anticipate in a totally lost than 2 totally losts. Worked out though. I mean, our early cards were all this expensive, but we ended up with exactly, you know, what we needed in the 2 and 3 drop category to fill out the curve and still have a nice top of our curve. An adequate top of our curve. Anyway, Thornhide Wolves is fine, but, like, I'd be happier. If I were playing 2, it would mean I have a way better big creatures, you know. And same thing with Frilled Sea Serpent. It's fine, but, you know, I'd rather have a Dreadmaw there 100% of the time, basically. Putting Ether Tunnel on this and it not being killed is pretty hilarious, though, because it would be able to pump my whole team and never die. Much of my team, anyway. But yeah, I mean, I don't like the idea. Like I said, I don't like the idea of auras unless I have creatures who are hard to kill. Ooh, I'll take that, and goodbye Anticipate. That's a very late Bristling Boar. Unless I have creatures that have hexproof or something, you know. Like, if I had 2 Vine Mares, I'd play Ether Tunnel. I have 0, so I'm not going to play it. Could also be really good with the blue mare, potentially, that lets you loot every time you hit your opponent. Like, but we don't have anything like that. That makes it worth it, I don't think. Yeah, this is our deck. We did end up short on playables, but that said, green was so open, we got plenty of good sideboard cards like Plummet and Naturalize, so yeah. I don't think it's ever right to play Rupture Spire unless you're actually splashing. I mean, it's sort of a pain if you're not splashing because of its requirements. So it's not like a dual land that you always play because it just doesn't produce mana easily enough to do that. So most of our blue cards aren't things we need to be playing early. So 7's probably okay. We've got 1 double blue. Yeah, I think 7's okay. 10-7 seems good to me. All right. So I'll see you guys in the first match. All right, going into match 1, I would like to play first. And this is a perfectly fine hand. We have a turn 2 Green Seeker, turn 3 Wind Mage. With Essence Scatter, you generally want to cast it whenever you can. And for us, it's probably going to be turn 4 or so. You just cast it when your mana's up and they happen to play a creature. Because if you try to get fancy with it, things can get ugly. Because opponent can decide not to play a creature. And if you don't want to just like leave mana up for it for the sake of leaving mana up for it either. I see people do that a little too often, and it can get played around and really destroy you. It's just better and limited to be building your board most of the time. Okay, well, we may not even play it on turn 4. We may just try to go 2, 3, 4 here and see what happens. So they're a red-white aggro deck, obviously enough. That's really the only place Rustwing Falcon makes sense. Alright, so probably worth using this ability. I can wait to do it, I guess, but I think having the information seems nice enough. Okay, another Wind Mage. Not a land. So we'll play Aven Wind Mage. End our turn. Which can, of course, block Rustwing Falcon. I don't know that I will, but... Okay, guess opponent was mana screwed and just didn't want to die to stuff. Plummet might be worth it. We really didn't see enough to know, though. Yeah, so same with Naturalize. So on to our second game. Okay, Green Seeker's in our hand again, and that's great. This is a very good hand. We will keep it. We do have our probably the worst card in our deck in our hand too, but everything else seems solid. Probably play Auras, so maybe the one equipment too. Okay, so turn 2 Green Seeker for sure. Okay. This is a pretty good card against our deck. We don't have a lot of like creatures with the right kind of stats to just like blink this, you know. We have to trade if we want to kill it, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to take 3. I guess our Highland game actually is probably our best way of dealing with it in terms of combat. Yeah, should we just play Highland game here? I think I'm actually going to play Aven Wind Mage. And in my turn. I wonder if they have dragons to get this back. Like, if they play Dragon Egg here and get it back, that would be pretty gross. Although, Dragon Egg doesn't really seem to fit their overall strategy. We're going to take another 3. Okay. So we probably want to do something here to keep them from going as wide as they seem to want to do. So I think here I'm going to Rabid Bite this. No, never mind. Let's go with this. Yeah, we'll get to 3 power. Yeah, we'll Rabid Bite Daybreak Chaplain. And then we're going to attack, and then we're going to play Highland game, which obviously trades really favorably with the Swift Claw. They're running out of gas over there, and we still have lots of stuff in our hand. The reason I want to stop them from going wide is because there's a significant chance that they have a way of pumping all their creatures. I mean, that's what the red-white deck wants to do, so... This is normally a good sideboard card against them, so having it against them is actually not too bad. Now we'll find out if they have Sure Strike or something of that nature. Nope. You go back up to 15. Crap. So Dwindle does something, but not enough. I mean, it's still going to be making its very annoying friends. But we do have to dwindle it, or things will get really out of hand. Yeah, that card's so good. So I think I block the Falcon and just take the 2 tokens here. So yeah, I'll block the Falcon. If they have a trick, that's gonna not feel so good. Yeah, there's the Sure Strike. Okay, we take 2. Okay, this is actually not too bad because it can at least block Leonin War Leader. Should it survive? If I'm them, I think I still attack with the War Leader. I mean, then you've got 4 tokens and a flyer. So, yeah, I killed your War Leader, but big deal. Yeah, that's what makes the most sense to do, I think. So we take 5 here. Get rid of the War Leader. Don't play another War Leader. Okay. Evasion is not our friend right now. So we'll play Centaur Courser here. End our turn. Okay, so that'll take him to 24. We're going to end up taking like 6 here. At least. Yeah, so we will... Each of these will block one of those. Yeah, we take 6. Dead to a lot of things now. Okay, we're dead. Yeah, Leonin War Leader, man. That card is pretty busted. I haven't gotten a chance to play with it yet. I have gotten the opportunity to play against it. So we got Plummet again, but still don't really think we saw enough. We've seen a little bit of removal out of them, so I don't think we really want to bring in Oaken form. Yeah, or Ether Tunnel. You just gotta not have them get that War Leader. I mean, other than that card, their deck doesn't scare me a whole lot. But that card is, yeah, it's horrible to use Dwindle against it. Could have on my Rabid Bite, but it wouldn't have even worked until I played a larger creature, which was several turns after it came down. Well, Dryad Greenseekers liked us. Wish Goreclaw would like us. That'd be cool, right? Yeah. Greenseeker. It does block all the 2/1s really well, and the red-white deck does like 2/1s, like the Pyromancer and the Drillmaster and stuff. So it's a pretty great card in those situations. I'm trying to decide if I just want to play this Reclamation Sage. I may, because we just haven't seen targets for it. Ooh. Yeah, let's just do it. Play our Sage here with no target. Just to have a 2/1, but that's pretty relevant against a deck like this. Like, having something out there that can trade does matter. We definitely play Goreclaw next. He makes these cost less, for one thing. Alright, so use this. Use a Rabid Bite. Don't think we use it yet. I mean, the Boggart Brute could be a serious problem, but I'm not worried about it yet. I'm not going to block this thing, so I'm just going to attack with my Reclamation Sage. So if I draw a land, I can go Goreclaw, and my Goreclaw survives. I can play Goreclaw this turn, and Bristling Boar and Thornhide Wolves both next turn. And we do get 2 chances to draw a land, basically, so... See if he eats a Spitfire. It's entirely possible. I mean, pretty scary. Not the War Leader. Electrify. Okay. Well then. All right, so we'll take 3. I almost rather he would have played the War Leader there. No, that's not true. Yeah. Oop. There's our Rabid Bite. So we could use Rabid Bite to kill this with our Reclamation Sage, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to attack with my Sage and play a Thornhide Wolves. I'm hoping that creatures that are that big are just very difficult for their deck to deal with. And so far, I think that seems to be the case. Granted, Boggart Brute can just attack right through. But it also sets us up for, like, if they do play a War Leader or whatever, we can Rabid Bite it. This can kill most things with Rabid Bite. Everything in their deck, what we've seen, actually. God. Now I wish I'd waited to play my Reclamation Sage. Yeah, there's the Drill Master. So we're going to take 5 here. Probably use one of these Rabid Bites now on Boggart Brute, but we'll see. We'll take 5. Just didn't see a target at all for the Sage, but, you know, I think it was probably still right to play it. We wouldn't have done anything else that turn. All right. So we can play Bristling Boar and Rabid Bite this turn, which is pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to attack with my Reclamation Sage first. If I can get them to trade, then I'm going to be pretty happy. I don't see that happening, though. I mean, their deck wants to go wide. They probably have, like, a Sure Strike or something to punch through Dryad Greenseeker. I would guess. So we're going to play Bristling Boar here. And Rabid Bite on Boggart Brute. And we'll end our turn. So the question is, do I block Drill Master if he attacks with it? With my Dryad Greenseeker? Probably. I probably do. 5 mana. Well, now we just use Rabid Bite on it. Can't really block it now. Not well, anyway. So we will take 4 to the face and go to 8. Man, Reclamation Sage was better against him than we thought. It doesn't matter now, but it was. Okay, so... It's like, should I use this during my upkeep because... so that I avoid drawing another land? Well, I mean, draw in addition to drawing another land. I don't know that I'm drawing a land, though. And I'm not, actually. That's pretty decent here. It's going to provide some important use later. For now, I don't think we use it. We get to leave mana up for it, though. So we're going to do Bristling Boar, kill the Drill Master. It's not quite a 2-for-1 because of the Night token, but it does allow me to attack with Bristling Boar and Reclamation Sage. Both. So we can actually put Luminous Bonds on top of their library in a pinch. Like if it's like guaranteed lethal for us to do that, we will. Yeah. Definitely block the knight. I mean, if we can get them to use a sure strike, then Totally Lost is also really good. So, and yeah, so Inspired Charge. Yeah, probably worth it. It just disappears. The Inspired Charge does nothing. Yeah, all right, we got there. Okay, match 1 is ours. See you guys in the next one. All right, match number 2. I think this is probably a keep. It's not a great one. Don't have any 2-drops or anything, but you know, it's fine. We got a couple removal spells, 4-drop, 5-drop. That's, you know, not going to get us killed in this format. In most cases, it could, but it probably won't. It'd be impossible to keep this like in a faster format like the Ixalans of the world, and you know, but that is not where we are, luckily. Yeah, we're both green-blue. We're both off to not the most exciting start. They may be stuck on 2. Yeah, they are. Ooh, drawing a 3-drop makes a pretty nice difference here. May get Essence scattered, but hey, let's roll it out there. Nope. So, you know, we weren't going to do anything till turn 4, so hitting a 3 there is pretty sweet. I would say. Let's see if they play Gear per Guide now. It's like a mirror. We have the same number of forests and islands. It'd be creepy, a little creepy if they played a Gear per Guide now. They're more interested in ramping and fixing and such, which I don't blame them for. Can be pretty sweet. All right, so we're going to attack for 3 to bring them back down to 20. Play Giant Spider. They are going to have, they already have 4 mana, so if they land, they have 5. So that's pretty good. It sort of makes up for their missing a land drop. If they hit one here. If they don't hit one here, it's kind of frustrating for them, but they still make up for it a little by essentially making this worth 2. Plus they have access to any color of mana now, so that's also good for them. Wow, they could have played a Gear per Guide. Creepy. I think I just attack with both. If they want to trade Gear per Guide for Gear per Guide, I'm cool with it, and then play Thornhide Wolves. Obviously, they can't stop the spider. Yeah. That'll work. Play our almighty Thornhide Wolves. And we're backing it up with a couple pieces of removal, which is good. Now they have their 5 mana. If we win this one, our win percentage will go up to 70, however briefly. Well, I'm glad I have Dwindle, because I would not be able to Rabid Bite this thing. It's too big. So, yeah, we'll stick Dwindle on it. Attack with both our creatures. So we know that Reclamation Sage has one target at least. May have more. We'll attack with both our creatures. Obviously they can block the 4 and just have their Baloth die, which is probably what they should do. But yeah. I think I've had enough lands. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll go to 16. Now what? They just have so many cards in their hand still, it's a little scary. Okay, Haven Wind Mage, not that scary. Would have been on turn 3. Well, I guess we had a giant spider all along, didn't we? Well, there's our target for Reclamation Sage. I think I'm going to play it now so that if they're planning on using an instant, I can know about it. So I'm going to play the Reclamation Sage here. If they're splashing, this is going to be pretty good. It's good anyway. It's almost like destroying a land here. On top of playing a 2-1. Like a 3... land destruction's not that good in Limited, mostly because it's overcosted. If there was a 3-mana 2-1 that said destroy target land, it would be really good. Usually it's like a 4 or 5 mana sorcery, so... that's a big difference. Yeah, they're going to cast Anticipate or something here. Or Disperse. That works too. So that makes their guy a 3-3. Frustratingly. And we're done. No point in Rabid Biting or attacking, so... that works out okay for them overall. We may have taken away their splash ability, though. Yeah, we might have. My cat is sharing her opinion about the situation. Very loudly, as she often does. Okay, back at 5, but they don't have their splash anymore if they have one. You don't necessarily have to have one to be playing Gifts of Paradise. You could just be a ramp deck playing like 6 and 7s really comfortably. Ugh, glad we can kill that. Because it would win them the game, basically. So, luckily, we can go Thornhide Wolves Rabid Bite and get rid of it. Rabid Bite. Get out of here. And I think we attack with both. Sure, even when Mage can attack us now, but it's whatever. Drop him to 12. Have a Green Seeker ready to come into play at some point. So, I really don't want to see a Colossal Dreadmaw, but there's like no way their deck's not running something like Colossal Dreadmaw with the Gift of Paradise and stuff. I mean, our deck would have it if we could have gotten one. Dreadmaw is not something our deck wants to see, basically ever. Dwindle's basically our only way to deal with it, and flying over it, but we don't have any of our flyers right now. So, feel like if they have a Dreadmaw, they would have just slammed it by now. I guess Totally Lost is pretty good against Dreadmaw. I wish we had a Disperse instead of Totally Lost. Ooh. Okay. All right. The good news is they can't just like attack us here like you often can when you play a Prodigious Growth. Probably bring in Naturalize. We've seen 2 enchantments. They almost definitely have more. Totally Lost would be really good right now, so I would be real happy to draw it. Yeah, okay. So we're going to play Centaur Courser. And we're going to play Dryad Greenseeker. And we're going to end our turn. Man, just having the Death Touch guy would be pretty sweet. I don't know how we didn't get any of him. I may have passed. I probably did pass some. They're great with Rabid Bite, and they're great. They're pretty good in general. Oh, God. Now they're going to put this on there. We definitely bring in Naturalize. Now they can hit us for 11, and they make a creature token. Granted, we can just block that. But now we have to draw Totally Lost or we die. Right? Is that basically what we're looking at here? So on my upkeep, I'm going to put a pause to give me a slightly higher chance to hit what we need to here by, if the top card of my library is a land, I can get past it before we draw. So we're going to look at the top card of our library. Okay, so slightly higher chance to hit what we need. No. I mean, yeah, no. Plummet probably also comes in. Yeah, all right. That is a suited up Aven Windmage, that's for sure. So probably bring in both Plummets and Naturalize. Yeah. And what's less than stellar here? Probably Highland Game isn't exactly important in this matchup. Don't know about Gear Per Guide either. Maybe we cut 1 Thornhide Wolves and Gear Per Guide. I think I'd rather keep a Thornhide Wolves, yeah, so that should be good. We saw multiple very good targets for all of our sideboard cards, so that'll work. You know, I think I just realized I could have blocked with my Giant Spider and bought myself another turn. Glad I didn't check what was on top of my library. I mean, the chances we were going to win that game were low. I should have done that because it would have made it so we had slightly more time to draw Totally Lost. We would have had one more sort of 2 shots at it because of our Dryad, but yeah, I forgot about our Spider. Reach. Where are we going to get our Skyrider Patrol? I think I've drafted it like 3 times and it has never really done what I wanted it to, which is draw it. Not asking a lot. I mean, I guess I'd like it to stay in play for a turn at least. Okay, I would like to play first. Well, there's our patrol. We're so dependent on drawing lands that I don't know that I want to keep this. I mean, what, we have 15 lands left in our library. There's a significant chance we draw one every draw step, but if we don't, and we need to hit a third, not just a third, but a fourth, so I think we got a mulligan. Oh, good. Well, I don't know that we're going to get to 70%. I think we got to keep this one. Got to put Goreclaw on the bottom of our library. Yeah, that's not good. That first one, you know, it's always hard. I think there was a higher probability of having a better 6-card plus scry hand than there was of that first hand turning out okay. But obviously it didn't work out. You know, probability, that's just how it is. Yeah, remove this hold on our upkeep. Not good. Though, if we hit a forest, we're in pretty good shape. So at least there's that. Like, we don't have to be super concerned. Like, it's not like we need to hit multiple things. We just need that forest. There's 10 in our library still, right? Yeah. So we have like a 1 in 3-ish chance of drawing it. We wouldn't mind. I mean, you can also factor in our blue cards that we can cast, like our Wind Mages, Essence Scatter. Like, those would be okay to draw too, obviously. Good. So happy to see that. Okay, we did draw a blue card at least. We need that forest. They seem stuck on 2 again, but they basically have 3 because of their druid. We take 3 here. We're just so close to like turning a corner. 1 land. That's all we need, basically. This will help them hit their lands. Most likely. Okay. All right. Well, they may think we have Disperse or Anticipate, you know. Disperse would be pretty nice here. Luckily, they're not off to a blistering start. If they had a really good start, we would have already lost the game, basically. We're both struggling. Us a little more than them, to be fair, but the fact that we got the Wind Mage out there is what's our saving grace right now. Oh, God. I've drawn 4 of 7 islands and 0 of 10 forests. It's not really what you want to happen. They missed on their Giant Green Seeker. I don't think their Omen Speaker got them to lands either. It's giving us a chance, that's for sure. If we draw forest, I think we just play Thornhide Wolves because its sheer size is pretty relevant right now. But I think we're taking another 3 here. How I wish I had, like, Disperse. Like, bounce Green Seeker, trade with Centaur Courser. We don't even have Disperse in our deck, but that's the dream, anyway. Getting beaten to death by Centaur Courser is not the dream. Well, I think that probably does it. Like, you know, we're not officially dead, but we're basically dead. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably try and trade with that, but it's probably going to go really badly, and then we'll take 3. They hit their land finally. As I say, you know, things even out. I've been rather lucky last several drafts. Had a good streak as a result, and now, you know, this is the payback. Having 7 green cards in your hand and no forests. And drawing 4 islands. Extra frustrating. What are you going to do? Can't do much. We had such sweet cards to sideboard in, but they're all green, so... Oh, yeah, now we are dead. So 3, 4, 5... And we're not actually... 3, 4, 7... We're not actually dead. Just basically. We go to 4. Can we hit a forest? No. Well, that was ugly. All right, on to match 3. All right, final match. We're 1-1. We'd like to finish at least 2-1, and this hand's not helping us. I think it's probably a keep. It's not a great one, but since we're on the play, I think it's keepable. But if we're up against someone with a really fast deck, things could get ugly. But we do have both of our colors, and that is encouraging after our last match where... I mean, I did keep a 3-island hand, to be fair. I did it to myself, in part, but I didn't want to go to 5. That is for sure. Uh-oh. Could be fast. We don't have anything till turn 4. Druid of the Cow. Still don't have anything till turn 4, but we did draw our Skyrider Patrol, which I don't mind. Opponent plays super fast, which is nice. There's their Bristling Boar. Okay. I think we try to play... I mean, we do play Goreclaw here. Hope it stays in play, and then next turn... we could play... If we draw land, we can play Bristling Boar and Thornhide Wolves. So... Can we keep it in play is the question. We'll take 4. There are 5 mana, which probably isn't a good thing. Could have been worse. Okay, is it better to play Bristling Boar, Aven Windmage? Probably, yeah. Oh, I can't do that. Bad idea. Bad. Okay. So we probably block Fire Elemental here, but yeah, that was bad. It would have been better to just play Thornhide Wolves. That would have also set up still a potential future turn of Thornhide Wolves plus Bristling Boar. But I screwed that up, obviously. So I think this Boar trades with Fire Elemental. If they attack. They may not. They don't. Okay, so we're going to play our own Thornhide Wolves. And end our turn. Being able to leave up Essence Scatter in the near future would be nice, but we just don't have the time. We do have Totally Lost, which can sort of give us another shot at leaving up Essence Scatter against something really scary. But we do need a 5th land for that. Okay. All right. I guess we just play another Thornhide Wolves. Goreclaw's doing work. I mean, he hasn't actually done that much. We wouldn't have been able to cast either of these, actually, so I guess that matters. He hasn't enabled anything crazy, though, because I haven't been able to hit a 5th land. Oh, good. So we take 9, 13, 14. That's lethal. Awesome. Boom. Tectonic Rifted for the win. It is pretty good against decks without a lot of flyers. Unfortunately, we had 2 that we didn't play. I don't think we changed anything. Nah. This isn't a matchup where we need some of our other stuff. We're good. Okay, can we... Yeah, that's fine. Maybe a turn 2 Essence Scatter. I mean, I would be happy to counter a Druid of the Cowl with it. I think I'd counter most 2-drops if he tries to play. Oh, yeah, definitely that one too. All right. Play our Windmage. There's a Druid of the Cowl. We can Rabid Bite it. Is it worth Rabid Biting, do you think? Yeah, probably. They have shock and response. That would be fun, wouldn't it? We'll attack for 3. There's the boar. Yeah, all right. We'll put Dwindle here, and we will attack. Unfortunately, it's not Prowess, which is on the verge of being retired as an evergreen ability, so I don't get to attack for 3 there, just 2. Awesome. Okay. We take 4 here. Not good. That, however, is pretty good. Yeah, we attack with the Wind Mage and play Thornhide Wolves. Right, so they almost definitely have a trick, given that they're attacking the way they are. The question is, am I willing to trade my wolves for a trick? And I don't think I want to, especially when I have Totally Lost in my hand, which can really wreak havoc on a trick. Could have been a really good bluff, I guess, but yeah, I think we definitely play the guide now, because it can. I'm much more willing to trade it for this than I am other things. We do not want to see another Tectonic Rift, I can tell you that much. If they don't attack at all here, I was going to say, if they don't attack at all there, they're kind of setting up for one. So we're going to block here, and we're going to block here, and see what happens. Take 3. Yeah, I figured a Sure Strike would be involved one way or another. They're down to 1 card. That could be a good thing. It is a relevant one, unfortunately. Ah. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. We're dead to Tectonic Rift again. Oh my god, they drew it. Oh, that draft didn't go super well. I think our deck was better than it performed, but it wasn't like an excellent one, certainly. It wasn't one I was like, this is guaranteed 3-0. Nope. 1-2. All right, see you guys in the next draft video.